Hello and welcome to this walkthrough. We are going to go through the process of using teachable machines with Google to generate an image classifier for limes and lemons per the worksheet. Once you've gone to the website, teachablemashinewithgoogle.com, you should land on this page here and then we're going to click on Get Started. So once we've clicked on that and the page loads, we are going to click on Image Project. Later on, we are going to explore doing classifiers with audio projects and pose projects, but in this exercise we are going to work with the image project. So we're going to click on that. We're going to use the standard model, which is fine. The embedded image model is if we are going to use our classifier in microcontrollers, so smaller devices like the Arduino, etc. But we are going to use our standard image model, which is going to give us better performance. So let's click on that, and we should be presented with a screen that looks like this. You've got two classes, training and then a preview. So what we're going to do here is start by setting up our classes, and you may recall that the two classes we are going to build this classifier for is for limes and for lemons. So we're going to click on this little pen icon there. That will enable us to edit the name of the class. So let's just type in lime for one, and then for class 2, click on the pen and type in lemon. So the next step is we are going to upload images of limes and images of lemons, and these are going to form our labeled samples. So the way we're going to get these images is we are going to go to image search, the image search of your favorite search engine, and we're going to check limes and lemons. I'm going to use Google image search here, and I'm going to start by typing in the name of my query, which is lime. So let's go lime, and we should be presented with a dizzying array of lime images. We're going to go through and pick the images that we like to train our classifier with. And the way it works, let's just start with this image here, for instance, a single lime. I'm going to click on that. It's going to bring up a preview on the right-hand side of our screen. And from here, we're going to right-click and go Save Image As. And the first thing we're going to keep an eye out for is that the image type should either be JPEG, JPG, or PNG. We should only be saving images of that type. So if this comes up as WebP or AVIF or anything else that's not JPEG, JPG, or PNG, please do not save those. You'll have to look for another image. So in this case, it's JPEG, which is great. We need to find a location on our device to save the images to. I've previously created a folder here called Lesson 2 under the folder Introduction to AI course under Documents. So I'm going to use this folder. So I'm just going to click into there. And then underneath that, I'm going to right click and go New. I'm going to create a new folder called Lime Training Images. And then I'm going to go into that folder. And this is where I'm going to save all my Lime training images. So I'm going to save it into there. And we've got our first lime image. As I go through and select the images I want, there's a couple of things I want to keep in mind. I'm ideally going to look for images that only have a lime in it. And I'm going to look for different shapes, different sizes, maybe different variations in color or angles, as many different variations of images of limes to give as examples to a classifier so that it can learn what a lime might look like under different angles, lightings, and sizes. So we've got that one. Let's take a look at this one. Looks okay. This one's sliced up. So let's save this one. Just going to keep an eye on the file type, and that's fine. And we're ideally looking for at least 20 different type of images. Now this one here, for instance, when I try to save this one, you can see that's coming up as a WebP file. Now Teachable Machine, unfortunately, does not support WebP files in its training process. So unfortunately, I cannot use this image. This one, for instance, this one's PNG, and that's okay. I'm also going to pick a hand-drawn one as well, just for a little bit of variety, in case we want to detect cartoon drawings of limes. I'm not going to use this image here because it has a plate on it. I don't want the classifier thinking that the plate is part of the lime. Same thing with this one here. This one's got a hand holding some limes. I don't want the classifier to use this image of a hand as it's trying to determine whether something is a lime or not. Now this image here is an AVIF, so I can't use that one. This picture of a lime has a lemon in the background, so I don't want that one. because we want the classifier to eventually be able to tell a lime from a lemon, so I don't want it to be confused with pictures of lemons in there. Okay, so at this point, we should have at least 20 images of limes to train our classifier with. I'm going to go back to Teachable Machine, and then I'm going to the lime class, and then clicking on Upload. Choose images from your files, and I'm going to find the folder that I saved all those images under, which was this new one that I created. So I'm going to double click into that folder, and then I'm going to select all of the images that I saved. A quick way of doing that is to just click on one image and then press Control A, and that will select all of the other images in that folder. I'm then going to click on Open, and then you can see all the images of the limes loaded in there. There are 23 image samples, and that should be a good start for the lime class. So we're going to move down to the lemon class and do the same thing. I'm going to switch over to image search. I'm now going to change the search term from lime to lemon. And then I'm going to go through and do the same thing, finding at least 20 images of lemons under different angles, different sizes, slightly different colors, multiple number of lemons, keeping in mind that I'm only looking for images with the file types JPEG, JPG, or PNGs. So let's start with this one. Save image as. What I'm going to have to do here is, instead of saving the lemons into the same folder as the limes, I'm going to go up one level, and then I'm going to create a new folder called Lemon Training Images, and I'm going to go into that folder and save our pictures into there. So I'm going to repeat this at least 20 times. I'm not going to pick this image because it's got a picture of a knife and some human hands in it. I don't want the classifier to think that the knife is part of the lime, and definitely we don't want the hand to be considered part of the lime as well. Similarly, I'm not going to pick this one with the woman holding up the two lemons because I don't want the classifier to think that any part of the woman is also considered part of the lemon. So you have to be careful with some images like this where they may have words or logos within the image, because you don't want the classifier to think that the words and the logos are part of the thing that they're trying to classify. Even though this is a pretty good image of lemons, I'm not going to use it because it's got these non-lemon related things at the bottom there. Once again, cartoon images are good. I'm not going to use this one because it's got this little plate at the bottom. Okay, so I should have at least 20 images of lemons now. So let's go back to Teachable Machine. And like before, I'm going to click on Upload, choose images from your files, and this is starting off in the same folder as last time with the lime. So I'm going to go back up one folder, go down to the new folder that I created for lemons, and I'm going to select all of these. Select one, Control A to select the rest, click Open. It's going to load them all up, and I've got 20 image samples for the lemon. So now that we've got the samples all loaded in for each of our two classes, we are now ready to train our classifier, and this is where Teachable Machine will go through the process of machine learning to try to identify different patterns for each class. Just like how you were determining patterns with blaps and plups, it's going to do the same thing using mathematics. We're not going to worry too much about this advanced tab, but I'm going to talk very quickly about some of the numbers here. Epochs, batch size, learning rate. These are things called hyperparameters, and professional data scientists and AI engineers spend quite a bit of time tweaking these numbers to see how they affect the accuracy of the classifiers. We're going to leave them alone for now. All we're going to do is click on Train Model. It's going to take a little while as it goes through all the samples. And once it's done, we're just going to switch the input from webcam to file. And now we are ready to test our classifier with some images of limes and lemons that it has not seen before. So we're not going to use any of these images that we trained it on because that would be too easy. It's already seen them. We're going to use new images that were provided for you in the worksheet. So what you're going to do is go over to your file system and download the files that were provided for you in the worksheet. You should get a file for lemon images for testing.zip and lime images for testing.zip. So a .zip file means there are multiple files that are kind of compressed and crammed into it. we're going to extract the files inside this zip file into their own folder. The way we do that is, let's just start with the lemon one. Right click on the file, go down to extract all, click on that, and then click extract. That should pull out all the images into a new folder for us that it's created called lemon images for testing. So it's got the same name as the file, but without the .zip. And if you go into that folder, you'll see there are 5 images that we can test our classifier with. And we'll do the same thing for the Lime images. So right click on Lime images for testing .zip, extract all, and we should get a new folder there called Lime images for testing. Let's take a quick look at what's in there, and we see 5 images of limes. So heading back to Teachable Machine, we're now ready to test our classifier. We're going to go to choose images from your files. So let's click on that. We're going to look inside those new folders that we created, that were created when we extracted the zip files. So let's test out our lemon ones first. So let's find the lemon images for testing. You'll see there's 5 images here. Let's click on the first one. Here's a preview of the image that we're testing with, and the classifier reckons that with 73% confidence, it reckons it's a lemon, and 27% confident that it's lime. So it's not 100% sure, but it's pretty sure that it's a lemon. So let's go through and check the other ones. You can just go and compare it with what I get here. This one reckons it's 100% lemon, so that's pretty straightforward. Let's take a look at the third one. It's 97%. Fourth one, 100%. And the last one, it reckons is 99% a lemon. So that's pretty good for the lemon. Let's test out the lime ones. So we're going to go back up, look into our lime images for testing folder. Here's our 5 limes. Check the first one, 100% lime, that's pretty good. Second one, 100% lime also. I think the lime classifier is doing pretty well. 100% lime for the third. 100% lime for the fourth one. Let's see if we get a clean sweep of 100%. Also 100% lime for the fifth one. So it's very good at detecting limes.